a blog that you actually budget your giving. And so do you ever have, and that's just, I don't want to ask anything that's too personal or whatever. Does anything from the buffer account ever go into giving too, as you feel led, or is it basically pretty much just from the budget?
Yeah. So so this is a game changer. Like for anybody who doesn't like giving and just always like feels like, I want to give, but like this is the game changer. Like you literally create a budgeting category and put money in there each month specifically for giving. Like once it's in there, it's not yours anymore. And when you do that, it's so liberating. It's so empowering. It feels like you're giving away someone else's money. Yeah. And like that one single thing made giving so much more fun for Lynn and I. It was just a game changer.
Yeah.
So within that, to kind of get to your question. So like I said, we've been given our age as a percentage of our income for the last 9 years or so now.
Wow.
And so what we do is we break off, and I don't have the exact percentage off the top of my head, but basically it's about 17%. I think it's going to a local church, and then we're going to some other organizations. And then we have a percentage of that, maybe 7% or something, goes to this actual giving account. And that is where we just, any like kind of spontaneous thing that comes up, if it's a GoFundMe, we feel led to support, whatever, like that's where all of that gets drawn from. And it makes giving so much fun.
Yes, it does. Giving for me is one of the most fun things in the world to do. I love it.
It really is.
It's such a
when
joy.
You do it right. It just is. Yeah.
It really is. My goodness. I'll get emails from people now. I shouldn't say this, but somebody's really struggling. I'll give them access to my course. I mean, if they really need it, and I'll be honest, Bob, for me, I will give everything away, and you can't do that as a business. There's a balance between making somebody pay for something, they value it. But we're both givers. So I'm sure you probably have had that problem before, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it is a tricky balance because, I'll just tell you, this is another kind of piece of this. We've had products on our site that we've given away for free that, maybe some people would send an email and say thanks or whatever. And then we started charging for them. And then whoosh, we have so many more people who are like, yes, this is awesome. This is amazing.
Wow.
Been there all along. You just started to pay for it and actually value it.
Started charging for it.
And another funny anecdotal thing, we had somebody who, basically, I don't know, their friend gave them access to our course or something like that. And, which we don't really, we're not Nazis about that.
Sure.
But it's not like we're telling people to do that. It's like, we're trying to feed our kids. I appreciate it if you buy the course and not give it to everybody else. But anyway, so the guy emailed me and said, I just want to pay for this course because I know if I do, I'm actually going to do it and take it seriously.
Wow. That's true.
And so all right, great. So so people know that too.
That's awesome. When you guys decided to give your age, back when you jump from 12% or whatever you said it was to 31%, I know we're big fans of R.G. Letourneau, and you mentioned the quote about the shovels when God, you try to give God, but He has a bigger shovel than you. He will always. You can't give God. I want this to encourage people who giving their age might be something that most people aren't going to do. Some folks aren't even at the level where they're tithing yet. And I totally at least start there. But for somebody that feels like, gosh, I got to give, I feel like I'm already struggling with my money now to give 10% back. Feels like there's a big sticking point there, but you guys made that leap into, well, talk. What was the result of that? What did God do in your personal life and your business to allow you to be able to give 31%?
Yeah. So part of what we're trying to do, with what we're doing with this book, I want to encourage, inspire people to give into generosity, but not through the same, because we all hear about this every week at church. Like anybody's going to church, every Sunday at offering time, you're hearing about it. And so, we don't need to say the same thing. So my angle is I want to inspire people on how amazing of a life it is, how the amazing adventure that God can bring you on through all this. Yeah. And so coming back to this age as a percentage thing, so getting a little bit more into detail of that story. So I was up praying in a field where I used to go to pray to. And the reason I went to God and started praying was because I wanted to get our house paid off. And so we had paid off all of our other credit cards and everything else like that. And so that morning I'm sitting in the field praying, saying, God, I want to get our house paid off faster. I had a plan with the amount of available income, it was probably going to take about 4 years to get it paid off, in which it's great. Like, that's amazing.
Sure.
But I'm a microwave American. Like, I want it quicker, you know? So I'm praying to God, like, can we do this faster?
Yeah.
And that's when I sensed him speaking to my heart. And I just sensed him say, if you want to see me really move on your finances, I want you to begin giving your age as a percentage of your income.
Wow.
And so, you know, and I remember being up there and just like scratching my head and just be like, this is insane. Like, how I didn't even know if we could even do this. I didn't know if we'd be able to pay the bills. Like, I had no idea how it was going to work out.
Yeah.
You know, and I went back home, talked to Linda. She got on board. And she, you know, it's really great, you know, for when you have a champion spouse who can get on board. I know that that's not always the case, but
did she have to go pray about it too? Or did she just she knew you can hear from God and just trusted you?
She just got on board. Like, I don't know.
Awesome.
Like, I mean, she might've prayed about it, but yeah, she just sensed it was right.
That's awesome.
All right. Okay. I was kind of hoping you'd tell me I'm wrong, but you know, and so, but like we both did, we had, you know, joking aside, we did have an sense of excitement about it.
Yeah.
Cause it's just this crazy journey to go on. But here's what happened. Here's what's so cool about it though. So that month we decided, all right, let's do this. And again, like I had no idea how this was going to play out.
Yeah.
You know, and under my new calculations, it was probably going to take more than a decade to pay off our mortgage because we're basically taking all of our disposable money and now giving it away.
Wow.
And so here's what's crazy, Ryan. We started doing that within 10 months, not 10 years, not 4 years, within 10 months, our mortgage was paid off.
Oh my gosh.
Like, it makes absolutely no sense. And it's one of those things. It's like, we could have never figured that out in our, you know, own minds. Like, and God was right. Like, I thought he was taking us away from our goal, but he actually did help us to do it faster.
Wow.
You know, so anyway, that was just one of the things for me where it's like, all right, if you ask me, like, I'm going to do it, even if it seems crazy.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that would be my encouragement to anybody, you know, who, no matter where you're on this giving spectrum, it's like giving your age, like that's not for everybody. This is our unique call, what God's asked us to do. But generosity, giving is a biblical thing you can't get away from, you know? And so my encouragement is, even if you're not giving a dime, like, let's start with something. Let's start with 1%. Let's start, just pray and just see where God can lead you. And I think you'll be surprised.
Yeah.
I think you'll be surprised.
Yeah.